Today you're going to learn some things about growing a certified pure, I'm going to say it's a certified pure, therapeutically grown team. This is an organic garden we're talking about here. Organically produced builders. How many of you would like some organically produced builders? Would you like some builders on your team? Yeah, love it. This is a video to show you how to grow your builders organically, okay? How many of you have ever grown a garden and planted seeds in a garden? How many of you have done that? Yes? Yep, you've done that. You've put the seeds in the ground. Ah, good. We got some gardeners in here. That's good. Okay, good. Got gardeners? Then you're going to love this. You'll be able to relate to it, right? Yes. Okay, so you know what it takes. If you're going to grow a garden, you have to prepare the soil, right? You have to get the soil prepared, and then you plant the seeds, right? And then what do you have to do? Water them. You have to weed, nurture, tend. You have to give your garden attention, don't you? Right? If you want it to grow what you want. Well, with a doTERRA garden, here's a key thing that you want to be aware of. And I know if you're building, you are aware of this, yep. But it's good to bring this out. When you plant a team, you have no idea what kind of seeds you have. You have no idea. So when you enroll someone into your doTERRA team, do you know if they are a builder up front or not? Do they know? It's a question that you have a 14-day window to find out, right? You never know, right? Yeah, if they're going to germinate. Good point, right? Yes, yeah, good. The cream has to rise to the top. Somebody's been watching the other scopes, the other videos, right? You didn't even know for yourself, right? One of my top builders said in the beginning, no, I don't want to do the business. And then that person ended up being my top builder. So you cannot really know when you enroll somebody, right? Yeah, who can know in 14 days? You can't. So you plant the seeds, you get them, you plant your people, and you put them in your garden, and then how do you grow it organically? That's what I want to talk about, you know, and watering it. And because you don't know, then the key thing that I recommend is, because you don't know, then if you want to grow an organic garden in which you do not do all of the work, then the first level is the ground, or where you plant the seeds. You plant all of the people that you enroll, and except in specific situations, there's always, you know, situations where this can differ. So know that I'm not saying absolutely every time, but most of the time, you are going to want to place the seeds in your first level, because you do not know what seeds they are and what you're going to get. And if you plant them on your first level, then when they start to grow, then you will be able to let the, like if you've watched the other scope, you let the cream rise to the top. So in order to start your business and start building, the Power of 3 Team bonus, this one right here, that $50 bonus, is a key place to start. And in the doTERRA compensation plan picture here, you always see this picture that shows 3 people on your top level, and that's what most people focus on, is finding a leader, and then they start plugging people in down under to start to build towards a rank. And a lot of things happen down the road when you do that are not so good. And I have discovered that it is more powerful to do this part right here different. So it's unstable, exactly. So let's look at this. If you're going to build this, it starts with you, and I'm going to show you right here. So this is you, and on the virtual office, if you go in there, you'll see that a person this color with the O in the line indicates it's somebody with a loyalty rewards order of at least 100 or more. Hey, welcome. And they have at least enough, this here shows that they have enough volume to be able to earn that $50 bonus. Okay, because you have to have, I'll see if I can focus that. Focus that. There we go. In order to get that, you need 600 PV, team volume, overall team volume. That's the volume between you and everyone on your top level. Every month that's in place, you'll earn that $50 bonus, which ends up being a lot of money over the year, over several years, okay? And if you build this strong, then you're going to go into these bonuses strong too. And the bonuses, this $1,500 bonus every month, will happen easy if you do this one correctly. And why do I teach about this? Well, for those of you who don't know, this is Valerieann Giovanni, and I've been planting seeds in doTERRA since day one. I'm one of the first 100 people to join doTERRA, and I am the first person to earn that $1,500 Power of 3 team bonus. So I've seen a lot of things happen over the years, and I want to share with you today something very powerful. Now, in the compensation plan, what you normally see is that they show it, like I just showed you, show it to you this way, where you're seeing a person up here like you with your people down under you, okay? That's how they show it. But I'm going to show it to you in a different way because we're going to grow a garden, okay? So this is the way it might look. So this is you, and if you're going to build the business, you need to first of all make sure that you get your ducks in a row, so to speak, which means you have to start out by having your own loyalty rewards program, membership and order. And if you have yours at least 125 or above, that's a powerful bonus or way to set yourself up to get all of the compensation that you can possibly get, okay? So this is representing different people that you might be enrolling. But notice, if you're going to plant a garden, we're going to plant the garden, and where do the seeds, they grow up, right? So rather than showing this in a way to where, you know, it goes down, a down line, we're going to have you be here, and you're going to plant your garden. So here's your garden, and you're going to plant all of your seeds on the first level. And you can keep going. You just keep going out here because you don't know which seeds you've gotten, right? You've enrolled these people, but you really don't know what seeds they are. You don't know what they're going to produce or whether they're going to say really yes to the business or not, because the only way you can know if somebody's going to say yes to the business is if they actually do the business and enroll people. And so if you're going to grow a team organically, then you do not do it for people, right? It's kind of like, hey, I'm going to grow my garden, but then I'm going to go over to your house and I'm going to help you grow your garden too. I'm going to plant your seeds for you and water your garden and weed your garden and grow your garden. How many of you would go do that for all these people in your garden, you know, all those people on your team? Would you like to go help them grow their garden too? Well, you can teach them how to garden. How about if they come over, right? How about if you bring them over to your garden and you show them how to plant the seeds, what to do, you know, to take their seeds, how to put them in the ground, how to water it, right? Right, who has that kind of time? Exactly, that's an issue. And down the road, it becomes a lot of work. If you're trying to grow this person's garden, you're trying to grow a garden for everybody, oh my gosh, you'll get burnt out. You'll get burnt out. So when you first start, you plant your seeds, and most of them look like this. They don't even have an LRP in place. They're just ordering once in a while, right? But eventually you get people that at least get on an LRP. Well, they might not have one at 100 or more, but as they use the oils, they will eventually want more oils. Teach them how to get the best discounts and the most free product, and they will eventually get on an LRP. Once they do that, you know, look at this. This is what's interesting. If you have an O in doTERRA, then it shows that you have at least 600 PV between you and everybody on your team. If you saw this, this person has 600 PV, so does this person, right? That's what this shows. But the only thing they don't have is they don't have 3 people enrolled that each have 100 PV. So, you know, you just teach people how to plant their garden. What do they need to do? Well, those people eventually will share. Teaching them is the key. You are absolutely right. Teaching them how to grow their garden. But if you are putting your people on the ground floor, everybody here planting them in the garden, then when somebody starts to grow, that sprout starts to grow up and share, and you know, well, guess what? If they're doing the same thing, every level in your unilevel is going to be huge, huge. And the amount of money you make now and in the future for residual income is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Yes, everyone on your top line, no matter what, except in situations, so this person started sharing, okay? Now they're doing the same thing that you did. They're starting to add people on here and just growing it, and teach them to go wide, wide. The only time, let's see, when is a good time to place somebody under somebody else? Well, oh, somebody else started to add some people, okay? What if you enrolled somebody under, maybe this person has some family members, and you enrolled a family member that's very close to them, and that they really want to work with a family member. Well, depending on the relationship, if it's really close and they want to be there because this person is also on your team, then you may want to sponsor them down under that person. But if you're the person that introduced them to doTERRA and to the oils, you may want to keep that enrollment, okay? So there's situations where you would have to consider the people, the connections, who they are. If you taught a class for someone else, like if you taught a class for this person and they invited all these people, well, maybe you're the person who actually taught them, but if this person really invited them and wants to engage in the business, well, then they would all go on their first level, okay? So there, you know, you have to look at each situation, right? And ideally, okay, I'm going to point this out here before I go a little bit too far here. Notice this person right here. This person has enrolled a couple of people. Now, if this person had done it and didn't have that LRP of 100 or more in place, they would have missed out on the fast start. So always make sure that there's an LRP in place, that people are taught before they start sharing, that they understand that they could be growing a garden. A certified pure therapeutically grown team, an organic garden, organically produced builders. And as you keep building and growing your garden, eventually you will get enough people. What you're looking for is to enroll enough people on your first level until you find at least 5 people or more who have a 125 PV LRP, because that's going to give you a powerful total. When you're figuring out your 600 PV, if you have 5 people with at least 125 PV, that's going to total 625 PV just with these 5. That's not even taking into account any orders that these other people would have made, plus your order, okay? So once you have your 5, do you start plugging people down under them? Well, I used to, but I don't now, because I've learned that it's so much more powerful if you teach each one of these people how to grow their own garden. Okay? If you haven't watched a scope that I did a few days ago, you might want to check it out. And it talked about if you needed your lawn mowed and you had a couple of kids and they were capable of mowing the lawn. So imagine you've got kid A and kid B, and you go out and say, hey, do you want to make money to this kid over here? You say, do you want to make some money? Hey, yeah, I'll give you $50 a month. Hey, let me show you the job you can do. It's like, hey, if you'll mow this side of the grass over here, I'll give you $50 every month. It's like, yeah, okay. So then you talk to the other kid, and it's like, hey, do you want to earn some money? Do you want to earn $50 a month? They're like, yeah, sure. So you take this kid outside and you say, hey, here's the deal. You can mow this grass right here on this side of the lawn and mow it, and every month that you mow it, I'll give you $50. And this kid's like, oh, but I don't really like to mow the lawn. I really don't like to do that. But I mean, I could do a little bit of it. It's like, hey, but if you will start the mower and push it around a few times, I'll help you do the rest, and I'll still give you $50, right? It's like, oh, yeah, okay. That's the same as, if you're like, here, this person is enrolling their own people, but maybe this person says, well, I'll do a 125 PV, but I don't really want to do the business, but I'll do that. So then you go and you enroll the people for them. Wow, what are you setting yourself up for down the road? I'll tell you what you're setting yourself up for. When you are wanting to go for one of these other ranks, for silver, gold, platinum on up, they are not going to want to go with you. If you've already done the work for them to get to these other bonuses, to get to the 250 bonus, now you've already invested a whole bunch of enrolling down under them, trying to get your bonuses. If you've invested a lot of time and energy working the business for them, but they didn't really want it, you're going to have to do all of the work to get there. And then they could even just, miss their LRP 1 month. Or a lot of things can happen. And it sets up a negative situation even in a relationship department, okay? What about building under committed builders? Okay, now that's a scenario that I would consider, but I would not build under a committed builder, and you would only want to place under their first level to place volume, okay? Unless they had a committed builder under them. And a committed builder means they've already done this. A committed builder has already made a $50 Power of 3 team bonus super solid. If they haven't done that on their own, then it's pretty iffy to start building under them. But if they're really committed, meaning that they're taking the action, committed in words is different than taking the action. So be very careful and cautious before you start placing people down under someone. And there are other reasons why you would want to keep builders or on your first level too. You don't know who the builders are, remember? You don't know. And down the road, if, any of these seeds that you've planted, maybe this year they didn't do anything, but next year, all of a sudden, everything's fertile and that seed begins to sprout and grow. And if it becomes a builder that goes to platinum, and if you've placed that person on your first level, it can count towards your presidential diamond leg, okay? It'll count towards rank where you need it down the road. So there's a lot of reasons why you want to be really cautious about building under other people, okay? So if you want to build a powerful, certified pure, therapeutically grown organic garden or organic team that matches the beauty of the essential oils, like, the team is as awesome as the oils, then plant your own garden. Plant your own garden, make your first level super solid, and teach each one of these people to do the same, and it will organically grow. You'll organically grow your garden. And by the time you've reached those higher levels of rank and even gone down to getting the $1,500 bonus every month, it will be super, super solid. And your unilevel check will be huge. So build solid. Build a team that's organically powerful, awesome, organically grown, a CPTG doTERRA team. So I hope this has helped you see things a little bit different. I love giving you new perspective as to how to grow your team so that it's super solid now and in the future. Because you just don't know what kind of seeds you're going to get, right?